Yeah.
It's 11:11. We're live. There's 2 days to go to the Freedom Flotilla Festival, and we got UFOs, some type of dirigible flying objects over there. Looks like a goldfish in the air, all white, no markings, no idea what it is. We tried zooming in.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, but we are your hosts, Anna and Jedi. So we have literally 2 days to the festival, and we're super excited.
And terrified on her part.
No. I'm excited.
We're-
So,
We hit the local news, so it'll probably be national news, and we'll have more flying objects and helicopters there by the weekend.
oh boy. Okay. Well, I wanted to live a life of peace and calm somewhere in the wild, but apparently that's not what God wants us to do.
Nope. Swear to God, we tried to buy farms before going to this festival. We were just going to stick by the reservations and give a chance to, still build New Atlantis, but, if society collapses, oh, well. Given that opportunity, we got to hammer it hard. And other fun news, the director of fusion and plasma at MIT was just assassinated last night after he was talking about how the poles have to flip on a regular basis to keep the dynamo running or the magnetic field breaks down, and talking about cold fusion. Who else has disappeared because of limitless energy? There's a whole list you can dig into, starting with Nikola Tesla and going on from hundreds of people after that.
See, I believe the soul is immortal, so if it's going to happen in this lifetime, for those that did not happen in this lifetime, they're going to wake up and they still continue their mission. So, reborn.
Yeah,
because I believe in reincarnation.
This is the great work we've been working on since we built the Temple of Solomon.
Ooh, that's deep.
This is great work. Well, actually, it goes further back to the Temple of Solomon. This goes back to the building of the pyramids. And there's some people that are just getting exposure of the labyrinth underneath and the library and all kinds of things starting to leak out bit by bit about our history and how we were more advanced, the ancients were more advanced than we are today. Get into your book of Enoch and you can talk about the archons, and that's why, How to Escape the Matrix is in the news.
Yes. And those are the fun things you will talk during the festival. But any housekeeping I need to do?
Oh, y'all need to make sure when you're there, no pumping out or anything like that. You drop anchor, leave no trace. Make sure you got all your safety equipment, stuff like that, and we're gonna have fun.
Yes,
it's gonna be a blast, and I'm really curious how close we're gonna end up to those dirigibles or whatever UFOs. So we can see. She took some closer pictures where you got a little more detail, but they're just kind of floating there. It reminds me of the Goodyear blimp up in Cleveland.
Different. Oh, excuse me, guys.
Yeah, they're definitely different shape. The one up further in the sky is bigger. Who knows? Maybe it's some military craft. I knew some guys were asking me to invest in their company, and they had a new aerogel that was lighter than air, so they could do dirigibles that, unlike the Heidenberg and stuff that were filled with helium, they won't blow up. So we could make flight, insanely cheap and stuff. I think I might still have some of that on my computer, but I can't go into too much detail on how that works or whatever. But yeah, just the fact it works is pretty cool. And where the tech and everything else is going. And, we're going to have tips for you this weekend. And if you got any volunteers that want to be part of the Bitcoin versus Gold Showdown, so I'm not just going to talk on that one.
Although you know about money.
I do understand it forward and backwards. You know, I actually mined it back in 2012 and 13, and I never sold. I just locked it away on a hard drive to see where it's at, you know, in 2030. You know, that wink, wink 2030 year. What's up with that year, you know? So that's the plans. The 2030 is the UN Agenda 2030, the WEF Agenda 2030. And my counteraction with the New Atlantis Project for 2030 as the best way to preserve humanity. And you'll hear more about that in the festival. So, any other housekeeping or things for people of as I'm trying to dodge crab pots here?
No, just at Anchor, just there's one in front of us. Yeah, just when you're at Anchor, guys, just make sure you keep the distance. Safety comes first. We voters, we know that.
Or, if you're going to get really close, just tie each other up so you're
Yes.
all one solid mass. And you don't bang into each other without bumpers prepared.
Yes, and then when you travel, by your tent, make sure the tent has lights and safety equipment like flares, life jackets, all those regular stuff that we do on a daily basis, guys. Just a reminder.
Yep, and keep an eye open for channel 68 for the weekend.
Yes.
And if you'd rather have better audio quality, you can, look us up on Facebook, YouTube to hear the main talks live. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait to see all the fun people we meet.
X
It'll be on X too.
Yes.
At Alchemist Jedi. So this is Jedi and Anna.
Signing up. Peace
We'll
and
see
love.
you tomorrow at 11:11. Peace.
Tomorrow at 11:11.